We are super excited to announce that we are doing a chemistry class for kids this upcoming fall semester. And so we're having a quick live stream to tell you all about it and to answer your questions. So
this is coming up really soon.
This is. Registration opens today, and the class is going to start on September 1st. So it's just 3 weeks away. We'll be talking a lot about it in the meantime. But I would love to show you just a little preview of the class and answer your questions. So first off, why chemistry? Why are we doing chemistry, Math Dad?
Well,
chemistry is awesome.
That's one reason. You know a lot about chemistry.
I have a minor in chemistry. Always loved chemistry, and it really is one of the central sciences.
I think it's a gateway. Like when students get excited about chemistry, then they pay more attention in their math class. They pay more attention in their other classes. And yeah, it's going to get them excited.
And if you're going into science, no matter what branch of science you're doing, it's going to involve chemistry. If you get into research, it doesn't matter if you're an engineer designing buildings, or if you're a volcanologist out in the field studying volcanoes, or if you're a doctor in a laboratory, it's going to come down to molecules and bonds, and your knowledge of chemistry is really going to help you. And then beyond that, for the layperson, I think chemistry is one of the most important topics. If more people had a better understanding of chemistry, then we wouldn't have accidental poisonings as often as we do from people mixing cleaning chemicals and things like that. It's just, and aside from that, it's just really fun too. So I'm going to say hello real quickly to those who are watching live. Betsy says they love chemistry. Me too. Trisha asks about supplies. We do have a supply list coming. It is not 100% fleshed out yet, but I'll tell you for our first month, the only supplies you'll need are modeling clay and toothpicks, or Play-Doh and toothpicks. So we're keeping our supplies as simple as we can. We're going to have some really exciting demonstrations that are don't try this at home demonstrations, things with liquid nitrogen and other supplies that are more difficult to find. But every other week or so, we'll have an at-home assignment that's going to use household supplies.
But on a daily basis, you don't intend to have them required.
Yeah, there's not going to be an actual hands-on activity every single day, about every other week or so. Tamara says our molecules are bouncing all over the place with excitement. That's awesome. Makes me happy to hear. I want to show you the doodle notes, because one of the things I'm excited about with this course is how I'm taking a more advanced topic and making it real accessible to kids at a younger age.
Can we maybe just talk about format first, though?
Okay,
so it's twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, the regular.
Tuesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time is when the live stream is going to air. It's going to be hosted on YouTube. And if we have enough people register, this will open up to be its own public YouTube stream, and it will be accessible to anybody. And I know this is a little unconventional to say we want you to sign up so that it can be free. And Math Dad and I have a little wager going on, because this is really appealing to me. If you told me that if I paid for something, 100 other families could have it for free, I'd be like, sign me up. That's awesome. And Math Dad's like, no, everyone's just going to wait until it's free, and then they'll jump on. So we'll find out how it goes. We'll find out how it goes. Let me show you the notes. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we are going to have a live stream. And during the live stream, I will be covering different topics. But while you are watching, you can follow along with some really fun notes. They have little comics, and you can preview the notes on our website. On the website, when you preview the notes, it will also show you the entire fall 2020 schedule. And you can see what next generation science standards are being covered which day. The next generation science standards are across the United States. They're the standards that every single state has to cover. And I've got them listed by number, and then in the FAQ, I have listed out what they are. So that we start with the story of the atom, what things are really made of. While you're listening and watching the lesson, you can color in these little doodle notes. And to me, this just makes, I don't know, comics make everything better. I'm quite excited about this.
All right. So that's what's happening on Tuesday, Thursday, and then
on Friday, we're going to have a game show style review.
Every other Friday.
Every other Friday. For the people who register, there's going to be a game show style review where we'll have polls that will go up, and you'll kind of test your knowledge versus Math Dad's. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to learn some chemistry here too. I think we got good chemistry, man. Good.
I knew that joke was going to come up. I was waiting for it.
We actually met in our chemistry class.
We did.
So
fun fact, Math Dad and Science Mom first met in an undergraduate chemistry class in college. And I will say that here is the link on our website if you want to check out the FAQ, and then it has a link to the registration page as well. And I will grab, if anyone wants to, is like, I want to register right now, I will grab that link real quick and throw it in the chat. So our first chemistry class, that's where we met in college, and you did get a better grade than I did.
I did. Science Mom would keep me awake because I was,
even though you slept through most of the class.
Sitting on the front row, and I'd fall asleep. I was trying so hard, but I'd fall asleep, and then she'd be writing notes on my hand.
Trying to wake him up.
Yeah.
I would write one letter at a time, because each time I wrote a letter on his arm, he would wake up. And one letter at a time, I would write, "Help, I can't stay awake."
Good memories, good memories.
All right. I'm going to answer a couple questions really quick. So, this is a good question. So Zanantha asks, do the people that pay get some type of bonus? They do. They get the Friday review sessions. So every other Friday when we have those game shows, and the game shows are a lot of fun because they're interactive. The polls come up. You can see, you can see that people are answering, and it kind of changes live as people answer. And then we reveal what the right answer is. So the polls are a lot of fun, and we may even do some fun little giveaways during those polls. We'll make them a lot of fun, and those are just for people who register.
And if you can't attend live?
If you can't attend live, there's a recording, and you can watch the recording, and that applies to everything, the Tuesday, Thursday sessions, and the Friday game shows.
Yeah.
And then
I think a lot of people will just have to do it that way because the time won't work for them. And I mean, when you're not able to maybe ask questions live, and you might have to send your questions along. But when
we do Q&A at the end, we're going to pull from two places. We're going to pull from our email, and we're also going to be pulling from the chat. And so if you're watching the replays, but you have a question you really want to get asked, you can email it to us, and we will have a collection of questions for Q&A each time. Bridget asks, are we going to have packages to buy like we did for physics camps? I would rather pay than print the stuff myself. Love it. We are going to have some packages ready, but they are not quite ready yet. They'll be coming in a couple weeks. And
right.
That's like,
well, and it's also going to be a little tricky. I mean, the notes are not all ready yet.
My plan.
I wish we were that far ahead.
My plan is to get them ready so that there will be 3 installments of notes. So you'll get like the first month, the second month, and the third month. Everyone say, "Draw fast, Science Mom." We'll see if I can meet that.
She's an ambitious woman.
Let's see. Any other questions?
So down at the bottom.
Emily asked what time we'll be doing the classes. It will be at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
That's right. Or if you're in between, it's somewhere in between.
All right. And then Linnell has a great question asking about how this is geared for 4th and 5th grade, and how does that compare to the previous offerings like Quarantine? So will you go check on that real fast? Our 14-year-old is yelling from the front room, "Come see the dog. He looks so cute." So I don't know if you could hear that off screen, but there you go. Keeping it real. We are targeting to 4th and 5th grade, but it's going to go a bit deeper. So it's going to be somewhat similar to Quarantine, just in terms of the overall feel of it. But we've had more time to prepare this. It's going to be a bit more organized than Quarantine, because Quarantine, we came up with the idea 2 days before and then just went from there with no break.
They're definitely more focused, more planned out in advance, although we have the flexibility to go a lot of directions.
In terms of age appropriateness, because this is one of our most common questions, if you have a 2nd grader or a 7th grader, how will it work for them? I would say for 2nd and 3rd grade or younger, it will be really good exposure, but I wouldn't expect them to, get all the questions right at the Friday reviews, because we're going to have those printed off. You could use them as like a multiple choice test as well. So I would say it's good initial exposure, and we have enough fun demonstrations that I bet it would be enjoyable, but it's definitely going to be a bit above grade level. If you have a kid who really loves science, I think they would enjoy it.
So it'd be a higher level than Quarantine?
A little bit higher level than Quarantine, perhaps. For middle school students, most middle school students don't get an actual chemistry course. I actually think it would be an outstanding way to prep them so that when they get to high school chemistry, they'll just slip right in, and it will seem a lot like a review, and they'll do really well in high school chemistry. But the 4th and 5th grade, we feel like when we did polls during Quarantine, that was the majority of our audience was 4th and 5th. And so we have sometimes very creatively worked in half of the 4th and 5th grade science standards. For example, there's a standard all about energy transfer, And so we're having a chemistry in real life lesson about toasters. How does a toaster oven work? There's some really fascinating chemistry involved there. And then we also really nail that standard talking about energy transfer in that chemistry in real life lesson as well.
So Charlene Yang is pointing out our inaccuracy. We didn't actually meet in the chemistry class. We did meet with me playing my violin in the dorm room.
Totally true. So
you guys pay attention.
Awesome job,
yes.
Charlene.
But then throughout that semester, most of our interactions were based through our chemistry.
Well, and fun fact, when we were talking in chemistry one time, I reminded Math Dad that we had met when he was playing the violin, and he did not remember.
Yeah, I'd forgot. Some girl came. There was a girl in the boys' dorm. I was like, oh, is this even allowed? Like, I didn't know.
And he was all nervous.
I was a little shocked, but okay. I eventually got used to the idea. But yeah, then she pointed out, oh, that was you. Yeah.
Yep. Lynette asked a great question. If we have 2 kids, do we register them both? No, this is per family. The fee is $150 for the semester-long course. That's a little less than $5 per lesson because there are 33 lessons throughout the semester, and that is per family. So if you have a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grader, if you've got 4 kids that are kind of within that age range where you think they would enjoy it, they all get in for that fee.
Yeah. So somebody's asking about maybe posting this for a class or getting a larger group together.
Oh my goodness. All right. So if you are a teacher, can I just go ahead and say teachers get it for their class for $150?
Okay.
Yes. I think that would be a fantastic resource for a GATE class. So yes, you can sign up and your class is in. You'll have the links to the live streams, and then you can share them with your class. Yeah,
and you use the material any way you want. Yeah, tell us how it's working, especially in a classroom setting or with groups. Tell us what can be improved.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
So we have some milestones, things that unlock at certain registration milestones. And I spent a lot of time running numbers and doing the math. How many people do we need to have registered if this is going to work? There's this theory, this kind of popular theory that if you have 1,000 true fans, that then you'll be able to, if 1,000 people love what you do and are willing to support it monetarily, that then you'll be able to have a career as a creator. But that's, in theory, that's 1,000 people can support one person. What if you have 5 people on payroll? How does that work? Because we have 5 people, working part-time on payroll in our little tiny family-owned business, and 2,000 is where I landed. I ran a bunch of different numbers. And if we have 2,000 people sign up, then the course can open for free, and then we'll be covered for the whole entire rest of the year with being able to make payroll. So if we hit 1,000, that's halfway there. That's where one of my most exciting things comes up, because then we can pay Math Dad to run a math class that will be free and will be public all semester long. So 4th and 5th grade math, especially targeted at 4th and 5th, but he'll also, we'll have some polls on Patreon and we'll kind of adjust according to people's interests. But we'll have really fun math lessons every single week, all fall semester, if we hit 1,000. So I hope you guys will help us share this, because this is where it's either going to work or it's not going to work. It's all going to depend on our fans. And if you guys will take the time to share it with friends and family and spread the word, because for sure, there are 2,000 people out here who would like this class. The challenge is finding them and making sure they know about it.
Well, our ability to promote it is limited. We've got the YouTube channel and our Facebook page, but beyond that, most groups don't let you self-promote.
They don't, and I don't really want to give Facebook a whole bunch of money to spend on ads right now. I'd rather not do ads if possible. Donna asks, how long is each session? Each session is 45 minutes. So 45 minutes Tuesday and Thursday, and then the Friday reviews might run up to an hour, just depending on how the structure goes, but between 45 minutes to an hour for those Friday reviews. And we have Bridget and Trissa saying, yes, math. I'm super excited for that math class as well, but on each level that we unlock, we will have some other fun things too. So if we have any other questions, let us know live. We'll wrap up in just a minute. But I did want to share the link in the chat one more time for the registration page. So this registration page, or science.mom/chemistry, which has our FAQ, the frequently asked questions, either of those, if you can share them online, we would super appreciate it.
All right, so
Math Dad's scrolling up.
yeah, I just want to
Questions
make sure we didn't miss any questions. But yeah, the question about other grade levels is a good one. You know your kid well. I mean, but yeah, if they were excited by the
if they
content from
quarantine
time,
yeah.
then it's probably going to work just fine for them. And then
But
what they take away from it might be different than an older or younger child. But I think that they will enjoy it and it'll be a good experience. Maybe are the math standards being hit from any other grades?
4th and 5th is really where we're focusing, and to fit in half of the 4th and 5th grade standards, and in the spring when we do a spring course, we would like to cover the remaining half. I felt like it was best to just target those 2 grades because of the way the national standards are written. There is some overlap with 2nd and 3rd because every other year they sort of repeat and go deeper, but we're really focusing on 4th and 5th for the standards.
Gotcha.
And then Lynette asked, will we be doing other classes this semester, or is it just chemistry? Chemistry is the main focus, but when we do our chemistry in real life segments during this course, that does allow us to sort of branch out into other areas, because really so many fields of science, there are big overlaps where, you know, like how a toaster works. How a toaster works is a question of engineering and physics, but it's also got some really cool chemistry in it.
Oh, Jamie's got her jokes here.
What do you do with a sick chemist? Oh. That was the wrong one. Okay. Here we go. What do you do with the sick chemist? If you can't heal him and you can't cure him, then you may as well bury him. That is an awesome one. I'm going to have to bookmark that one for our class. And request for your song. I think you should do the paper physics camp song.
Oh, because some of them might not have heard this.
We're running a paper physics camp right now. We just did the first half today, and we're going to have it again tomorrow. And Matt Dad wrote a new song for it because I told him that I was really tired of the song that everyone knows the words to.
All right, you gonna sing the other part?
Yeah, I'll sing the other part real quick. All right.
Paper airplane flying through the sky. Paper airplane gliding oh so high. Fold and tuck the edges in, gotta make the crease just right. Paper airplane ready for the flight.
I totally messed up the words twice, but there we go. We have one request from Vivian to bring in the dog. Why don't you go grab Kaladin real fast? And that will be the last thing we do. So we'll bring in the puppy so you guys can say hi to the puppy. And I don't see any other questions. Victoria says, great to know that it touches 2nd and 3rd. It definitely will, but you might need to do just a little bit of tweaking to make sure that, because the standards, although the topics are the same, the emphasis is slightly different. Oh, and if we reach enough people registered, if we get all the way to 2,000 and the course opens up, then we also bring back painting with a scientist and interviews with a scientist. Those will happen every other week if we hit that goal of having the class open up. So to anyone who is a fan of painting with a scientist.
He has the zoomies.
Oh my goodness.
He is active.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. If you saw him earlier, he's almost doubled in size.
He has grown a lot, and I am his favorite person, which I have to say is very gratifying and nice. This morning we walked up to the local swimming pool for me to swim, and when I went inside, he just he made a whole bunch of little whining sounds like what?
The rest of us are passable, but Science Mom's the favorite.
Anyone else leaves, and he doesn't really care. But if I leave, then he starts to whine. It's pretty cute. All right. Nella is excited about painting with the scientist. Awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at jenny@science.mom. We will answer them. And thank you to everyone who joined us live. And please share the post. We're going to post to Facebook and all across social media about our chemistry course. And I hope you'll help us share the word. Right. And then, one last question. 2 last questions, actually. What breed? Kaladin is half Havanese and half Poodle. I like to call it a Havadoodle, but according to other places, it's a Havapoo, which is kind of a funny name. And then Ludminda asks, will patrons have access to the classes? I will. So it depends on if the class opens up for free or not. If the class opens up for free, yes, patrons have access to everything. If the class does not open up, if we don't hit 2,000, then patrons will have access to the replay of the Tuesday, Thursday classes, but the Friday reviews will only be for people who registered. So, all right.
Yeah. So thanks so much for your support.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye, Olga. Bye, Vivian.